Okay, so today I'm going to cover Wealthsimple tax service, which is offered through the Wealthsimple platform. They do have some other services that could be used. So for instance, the invest, the cash, and the trade, and also the crypto option. But today we're going to focus on the tax. So if you click on the tax button here, it'll take you to where you can click on to start your 2020 tax return. So we're going to click on that now. And then it takes you to a page where you'll be offered two options to choose from. First option is if you've used Simple Tax before, so you can click that and then provide your username and password. This create a new account and use that to file your taxes with Wealthsimple Tax. So we're going to actually use this method. We're going to click on that. Just for the purpose of this video, I created a test email ID and a password, which I will use now. Okay, we're going to click on Get Started. Okay, so I created an individual called Tom, and we're going to continue on using that user as a demo today. So I'm going to click on that. So as you can see, this is the platform itself. Very simple to use. On the right side is where you'll be entering all your information. On the left side, you have the menu, quick menu to drop down to each section. You also have something on the bottom here that says refund. So that's basically their way of showing you what your potential refund could be. So depending on what you fill out throughout the process on your right hand side here, you will see the numbers change on the left hand side. So keep an eye on that. That's a very important area to keep focus on. Okay, so I'm going to run you through a sample user and doing the person's tax return on the right hand side here. So we're going to start off by putting in the user's name, social insurance number. So this is a fake social insurance number. Then we're going to choose the date of birth, 1995, January 1st. Preferred language, English. Is the person for a deceased person? No. Okay, when you scroll down, you'll notice that it will ask you for a NETFILE access code. So this code could be found on your previous year's notice of assessment. It should be on the top right-hand side of your paper there. I will show you a sample output. And then for now, we will use a test sample ID in here and move forward. Okay, so for Canadian mailing address, so we're just going to fill this in as well, just fake information. Ontario, 1Z2. Let's put in a fake phone number. 99999. Okay, now it's going to ask you questions about your residence. So in which province or territory did you live in? We're going to do Ontario. Did you change? No. Is your home address the same as mailing? Yes. In which province or territory do you currently live in? Ontario. Did you become a resident to do tax? No. Okay, now you and your family. So for this individual, I'm going to select a single. And we're going to choose marital status as no. And dependent as no. Moving on, we get a few more questions that we want to clarify here. So did you hold any foreign property? No. Did you dispose of your principal residence? So that's if you are actually owning a home or a condo right now and you decided to sell in 2020, or you decided to do rentals, etc. This is where you'll be asked about that. So you're going to hit no for this, depending on your situation. Are you filling an income tax return with CRA for the first time? Nope. Are you a Canadian citizen? Yes. Okay, do you want to declare the information to CRA? I'm going to hit yes for elections. Moving on, are you registered under the Indian Act? No. Were you confined to the prison for 90 days? No. Okay, so these two options I'm going to put as no, but you can go ahead and hit yes, and what it'll do is it'll add a section on the bottom here, as you can see, but I'm going to delete it as we're not going to put that in right now. So no to climate action, and then same thing for Ontario Trillium benefit. If you hit yes, you'll get a section down here that pops up right here. So I'm going to hit no to that as well. And moving on. Okay, so this box right here I feel is very important if you have a current CRA account that you can log into and pull any sort of information that a CRA might have on file that could be used for your tax return. So I normally use this as a option to pull down my income pay stubs, my RRSPs, etc. This will autofill that information for you on the bottom, just like it did with these options when we hit yes and no. So this demo, I'm going to hit no to move forward. Do you want to sign up for online mailing for assessment? I'm going to hit yes, sign me up, hit agree, put in an email address. So what did we use here? It's tom.doe@gmail.com, tom.doe@gmail.com. Okay, and then basically you're at the end right now, but if you notice, we haven't really pulled any information or see the refund increase or decrease. So what we're going to do is look at this field right here. So build your return. So this option actually lets you pull in multiple different sections from the tax report that you can add to your tax and fill out. It's a pretty big list. I don't want to go through it all. But what I'll do is for testing purposes, I'll just add the T4 for one pay, and that pulls up over here, as you can see. We'll fill that in later. And then I'll also include RRSP contribution and deduction. And let's look through here. Interest paid on student loans. So these are small things that I'm just adding just for an example. Rental income. If you're interested in doing a rental income, you can do that through here. So that could be covered in another video. If anybody's interested, please leave a message below in the comments. Tax-free, you don't have to declare. As you can see, you don't need to report it to CRA. What else is in here that we can use for now? I think there was one for gifts. So donations and gifts, we can add that. I think that's about it. Most of these are straightforward. When you click on them, they'll guide you through what you need to fill, etc. And if you have any questions, there's always a help button or an icon right beside any box that you can click on just to get more information. I've been using this for over 5 years now, and recently Wealthsimple has bought out Simple Tax, so it's actually part of their platform now. Okay, so we're going to fill out the employment income first. As you can see in this box, we'll use a fake company. And you'll just have to follow through with the pay stub that you receive from your company and put in the numbers. Just verify the number and then enter the value that the number corresponds to on here. So I'm just going to fill out a sample list here. Okay, as you can see on the left-hand side, it already started to populate your owing or refund, and it looks like you're a negative. Owing means you're a negative and you have to owe the government, so it's about $16,000 now. So that's because we haven't actually completed this section yet. So let's just wait for us to complete this and you'll see what happens. Okay, so that was all that I'm going to fill in for this. But if you need help, you can always look up this information online or on the back of your pay stub for the T4. You should be able to find all the information in regards to the numbers here. It does give you the toolbox information when you do hover over it. As you can see, the refund now is positive and it's green and it says refund. So basically, this is what they're proposing that you will be getting back in a tax return. So moving on, we're going to do the RRSP contribution. Okay, so moving on, we're going to be doing the RRSP contribution. So this deduction limit can be found online on your CRA page or on your notice of assessment from the previous year. So I'm going to just put in a fake value here. Did you make any RRSP contribution or have any transfers? I'm going to say yes. And here we'll put the entries of how much we put in. So your RRSP, there's different ones here, but I'm going to choose this one. The first half of the year. So we're going to do, okay, CIBC, RSP, first half. So I'm going to say 5,000. Okay, the second you put that in, you can see it increased. This is where contributing to your RRSP makes sense depending on your employment income and the tax bracket. This could help you decrease or even increase your refund. So we're going to do the second half now, January 1st to March 1st. I'm just going to copy this, paste it, second half. Say we put in 2,000 for that time frame. Now increased again. This is the change from the last change that you made. So that indicates that by you putting in 2,000 in here, you're increasing your total refund by $593. So if I was to change this to for say $8,000, you see how it increased by 1,700? That's exactly what you want to keep your eye on, that kind of information. So moving on, does your lifelong learning, so I want to say no to this. In your previous year, did you, okay, I'm going to say no to this. Okay, moving on. Okay, so if you are a student filling this out and you had OSAP or any other sort of loans, you could put that in here. So I'm going to put OSAP in here and say, I don't know, 1,100 for the year. Do you have any previous interests? I'm going to say no. As you can see, that increased your value by $221. Moving on, we get to the donations and gifts. So if you gave a charity, say, I don't know, $200, that increases by $40. Do you have any unused donations from carry forward from previous years? No. Did you donate any capital? No. And that's it. So you're at the end now. As you can see, it was very simple, very easy to use. What I'm going to do is I want to show you the next steps. So we have something called a review here. So basically you'll click on this, and then what Wealthsimple Tax will do is go through your inputs into all the areas that you filled out here and propose either suggestions or warnings where you'll have to take a look to verify if things were either incorrect, put in incorrect, or need some sort of attention. So for instance, you can see these boxes on our T4 had some issues. I'm just going to hit X to it because I know that we put in random values. Change your name. I'm going to say no. NETFILE. I'm going to say no to this. And then these are suggestions. So you may be eligible to claim it. I'm going to say no. I don't want to do that. Employment, home from COVID. So this is actually key for the 2020 return. As you know, we were all home from working from home, sorry, and we're able to claim some expenses there. So if you need to use that option, or you can actually do the same thing up here. You can add it as a, I believe it's under here. Yeah, if you type COVID, as you can see, it came up. So you'll click on this and it'll pull up a different section for you to fill in with the required details. So I'm going to say no to that. Digital news, I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to say no to that. Ontario energy and property tax, no. GST, no. Okay, and then that's it. So what you've completed your review, click let's go. And then on the bottom, everything is good to go. So now you're at the box where it says submit to your tax return. So when you click on this, it will take you to submitting your tax return. But what I'd like to do prior to hitting that is taking down a copy of a PDF of the output from Wealthsimple Tax. This is very handy and I think it's very important for everybody to do. So what I normally do is I click on it and then it pulls it down, and from there what happens is if you open it, you can open it up and you'll see that this is basically the full output from the Wealthsimple Tax and any other tax program that you might have used in the past. It has all the areas that needed to be filled in. You can double check this if you're curious to know what happened or even understand how your return was calculated. I usually save this as one of my returns and keep it somewhere in my directory so that for future I can always look at it. Now we're going to hit the submit tax return, and now it's going to confirm your information for you before you submit it to CRA. So the year 2020, your full name, date of birth, social insurance number, total income, and that's how much they're proposing that you will get. So you will click on I agree and hit submit. So now, just to give you a brief understanding of how my previous couple of years of return have worked out, uh, I believe this amount, for me at least, has been about 99% correct in sense of what I get in return. Now that could be different for different people depending on what type of information you provided and if you missed anything, etc., or if you made any mistakes. So be careful for that. Usually it comes in to my direct deposit within 3 days from my past experience. So that's another plus from doing it through the Wealthsimple Tax online. So hopefully this information was helpful for you. And if you'd like to get more information on any other products from Wealthsimple or more information on the tax return and any of the rental income stuff that I was mentioning earlier, feel free to leave a comment below, and remember to subscribe to this video, and thanks for watching.